Hey guys, what's up? We're taking a look at the 2018 Audi S3 Sportback today, and I'm going to answer the most frequently asked questions, and I'm going to combine them with my personal ups and downs of this car. So let's hop into the car and let's talk about the S3. So the car arrived in April, which is exactly 6 months ago by now, and the car has now 15,000 kilometers. So I thought the timing would be great to finally do this video. It's because I did get quite a lot of questions about this car. So the first thing I want to answer and talk about are the seats, because I got quite a few questions about these. These are the sport seats, the Audi sport seats, and I do have to say they are really comfortable. I did some long distance traveling as well with this car. I drove 8 hours to Monaco, and there is no need to take the comfort seats because the sport seats being this comfortable as well. So the next thing is the interior of this car, to combine it with the seats. You can check out my full review on this car on my channel as well. I'm going to put the link just on top right now, and there you will find all the other details about it. But for now, I have it with the virtual cockpit, which is incredibly nice. It works out really well for me. One of the things is that you can have everything on your virtual cockpit, but you also have a navigation screen. And for example, if you have a destination programmed into your navigation system, you can check your route in 3 different ways. You have it on your virtual cockpit, you have it on your main screen here in the center, and then you have it again on the right side of the virtual cockpit. I don't know the sense of this, but it's there, and it's not something negative, but I don't really understand the sense about this. Now to the virtual cockpit, when you get the car delivered, you're going to get it with the sport layout of the virtual cockpit, but there is another layout as well, which is the standard layout which just the normal Audis has. They have a different sort of layout setting for the S and the RS cars, and I personally do enjoy the normal layout much more because you have more information on the screen here. So what else did I notice over the past few months? The exhaust mode. I like the exhaust of this car. Let's get the window down real quick. I'm normally driving the individual mode, so I have the exhaust on loud and the steering and everything on comfort. But if we head into dynamic mode, which is the sport mode of Audi, you will instantly hear that the exhaust starts popping. And that's interesting because if I'm driving an individual and I have the exhaust on loud, it never pops. But after going into dynamic mode, the car instantly starts popping and so a negative point about this car are the noises of the different parts on the interior. This car is not cheap, and I think it is well done. The quality is very high, but there still are some things. For example, if I'm listening music, we have the B&O sound system. The sound system is absolutely incredible. You're not even able to get the subwoofer and the bass to the max because it's so intense. But if I'm listening to music, I always hear some noises coming from one of the speakers, which is really annoying. And I have a friend who owns the same car, and he has the same sort of problem, just with another part of the interior. And for a car which costs this much, I think it's just not acceptable to have these interior noises all the time. On this little bit curvy roads here, which leads me to a super positive point, and that is the handling of this car. The handling is incredible. You can take a corner with 80 to 100 kilometers an hour and you're not going to lose grip. It's just incredible. Alright, and the handling leads me to my next point as well. A question I get asked probably the most is, what mods and what tunings have you done? And to be straight honest, I've only changed the wheels. We have the 19-inch Vossen CVTs in gloss black on the car, looking astonishing, my opinion. They match the car so well, and together with the white color, it really looks perfect in my opinion. Of course, all these points are just my opinion. For me, this is just how I feel about driving this car. Alright, so for our next point, we're going to change the setting and go to the Autobahn. I just put the GoPro over here so that you're able to see it from another perspective. Now, this is something I love, having the S3 as a manual, and that of course is the in-run for the Autobahn. We're in second gear now, and then simply go for it. The car really pulls incredibly quick, and that is just so much fun with driving a manual car. So, about my point here on the Autobahn. The car has a lane assistant which sort of drives autonomous for you. But you're only able to drive autonomous for a few seconds. And on the one side it is positive because you're driving more or less autonomous. It keeps you in the lane with the lane assistant. But the more or less, I don't know, negative point for me is that after a few seconds it already tells you, as you can hear it beeps, that you should put your hands onto the steering wheel. What happens is, after a few seconds, maybe 8 to 10 seconds, the car is going to beep for the first time, as we've just heard. And if you still continue to not putting your hands onto the steering wheel, the car is going to beep louder, and if you still won't put your hands on, the car is just going to brake, and it's going to do a proper and quick brake. If you're still not going to put your hands on, the car is going to get both indicators on, warn blinkers, and then stop. But this is the positive point, is that you're able to drive autonomous, which is incredible. But on the other side, braking this hard after not hearing the beeping for a few seconds is, let's just say, you need to get used to it. So for my last point on my list, we need to stop around real quick, because I also get asked quite a lot, how much space do you have in the S3? Is there enough leg room for the passengers in the rear and of course in the front as well? Alright, so I am 1.70 meters tall, and for the last point we're just going to pretend that I'm 180 or 185. So we're going to get back around 10 to 15 centimeters with the front seat, and now let's jump into the rear and find out how much space we have there. Alright, I am now sitting in the rear, and we have the front seat in a position as if a person of 1.80 meters length would sit in the front. I still, with 1.70 meters, I still have 20 to 30 centimeters of legroom here. So I think with 180 to 190, you should be able to sit here quite comfortable as well. Alright guys, and that is basically it for today's video, showing you a few more details and your frequently asked questions about the 2018 Audi S3 Sportback. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to ask me in the comment section. I will try to answer them with my personal opinion and view of driving this car for the past 6 months. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like or a comment, and I will see you soon, guys.